Alright, so time now is 8:07 a.m. on January 14th. Yeah, Triangle Hair is back. I really love it. This is epic. I slept from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. Yeah. I I don't know how come I slept so late. I started taking a shower at 2:40 something, so I guess I was just carried away. But yeah, I couldn't finish several things. I couldn't finish editing my recap video. I couldn't finish watching Shin Godzilla. I just almost fell asleep while watching the movie last night. But yeah, I feel so sleep deprived right now. I really cannot go to church next Sunday or next Sunday. I really cannot. Um, fuck. I shouldn't have agreed to the church teacher to go to church today. That's so silly of me. Why did I do that? Um, but yeah, that's basically it. Fuck. I really want to just sleep all day tomorrow and not give a shit on, you know, on watching the movie, on watching Godzilla minus one. But yeah, there's a lot of things to do. A lot of USC stuff for me to do today, so hopefully I do them all. That's it. I read Justin's script. It's interesting. Yeah. Alright, time now is 11:03 p.m. Yeah. I just finished dinner. Literally had dinner here while sitting here. This is curry rice. Really big and filling. I want to drink a soda now, and that's it. I'm done with food for today. So, today I went to the church, and I basically immediately regret it because while I was on the church teacher's car, and while I was during the sermon, I fell asleep again, and then during the summer school, I was constantly sleep deprived. I don't know what happened to me. Maybe something happened to me yesterday. Maybe it's the fever from the vaccine that made me really tired, or maybe it's, I don't know, food coma because I ate a lot of food yesterday. But anyways, I was so terribly sleep deprived today. And it's worse than usual. I mean, I'm always sleep deprived, but usually it's not that bad. But today, even during Sunday school, I was struggling. And then after going back home, I was still very sleepy. Right now, for some reason, I'm feeling a little bit better. But yeah, I went to Sunday school. I sat at the very back so that if I fall asleep, it wouldn't be obvious. And I did fall asleep multiple times again. It's that place is cursed. Like whenever I sit down, I start falling asleep. Um, there was a moment where we had a prayer, and in the prayer, it was so fucking long that I fell asleep in the middle of the prayer. I woke up again, and we're still in the prayer. It's crazy. So, yeah, we went to Sunday school. It's shit piss cold. And me, the older sister of the siblings, and the glasses girl, we walked for like 20 minutes all the way to Starbucks, and both me and the older sister ordered something. I ordered through the older sister's phone, but I paid her back. I got myself a latte, a cinnamon latte, and it's so sweet. What the heck happened? But yeah, I thought some coffee would do me good. And then there's Sunday school, where half the time I was blanking out. But the church teacher was leading the Sunday school, which is really nice. He's a really good teacher. He's really entertaining. And then I low key thought, because Jonah didn't show up and it doesn't seem like a lot of people showed up today, so I low key thought that someone will just drive me back home and I'll just cook myself lunch by myself. Turns out that's not the case. Me, the older sister, the glasses girl, and a few other people. Or no, the glasses girl wasn't with us, but her younger brother was with us. And some other people. We went into a restaurant in San Gabriel called Northern Cafe. There are multiple Northern cafes in LA, but this one's different. This is a noodle restaurant. It calls itself a cafe, but it never really is. It's a noodle restaurant, and damn, it's good, but also damn, it's spicy, and damn, it's a lot. I couldn't finish it. My face was burning red. I was sweating. Yeah, I'm that kind of person. I'm like, if the food is a little bit spicy, I just look like I'm dying. I always look like I'm dying. If I'm a little bit tired, I look extremely tired. If I'm a little bit sleepy, I look extremely sleepy. I'm just that kind of person. I always manage to look terrible. Um, but yeah, so I didn't finish it, and I had it taken out. I ordered takeout, like, packed up in a box, and then a couple people drove me back home. Okay, so the couple of people are like actual couple. It's a guy and a woman, and I've never really talked to them before, but they drove me home and we had a conversation. And simple stuff. I almost forgot. I don't really know them and they don't really know me, so they were like, "Oh, what school do you go to? What's your major?" So it's all the basic questions. I thought everyone in that church already knows who I am. But anyways, I was at the film and they're like, "Oh, interesting." And when I sat in their car, I immediately saw two Revolution of Our Times posters, which is interesting because Revolution of Our Times is a very political documentary and usually pro Hong Kongers watch it, aka me. So it's cool to see that they got like two posters in the back. So eventually, they were asking me what my short film was about because I mentioned that I'm making a short film soon, and I was like, "Oh, it's about a couple Hong Kongers who can't go back to Hong Kong, and it's about missing Hong Kong but not being able to go back." And they interpreted that as not being able to go back due to political reasons, which I think it is implied in my short film. It is not definite though. So we started talking about politics a little bit, and you know, he asked me like, "Oh, so um, USC is actually very pro-China," and I'm like, "Really?" I mean, there are a lot of Chinese people in USC, but out of the Chinese people I know, they're not pro-China. Like John L made a short film that is pro-Hong Kong, and a bunch of people in the crew are Chinese. They just don't mind. I think it's partially because we're film people, we're artsy people, and artistic people are usually less easily brainwashed, and we like to think for ourselves. We have critical thinking. Um, yeah, I don't know. But at some point the guy asked me, "Are you yellow enough to feel that you need to like give to contribute to Hong Kong, And I like that question because that's sort of like the whole point of my existence. But it's also not that crazy of an idea. It's not like saving the world. It's not a super yellow thing to think about because it's common sense. It's my duty. I'm born a Hong Konger. Of course, I'm gonna serve Hong Kong and make Hong Kong a better place, culturally. Like without question. If I was a fucking I don't know scientist, I would try to contribute to Hong Kong as a scientist, like maybe improve Hong Kong's technology or whatever. But it just so happens that I'm an artist and a filmmaker in particular. Um, so yeah, there's that. I arrived home and I thought about going back to sleep, but nah. So instead, I just rested and I spent like 2.5 hours just thinking about how I should write Violent Femme, which is probably going to be my next short film. I don't know. Um, and I've been thinking about that for a while lately. It's really difficult to write something like that. I wonder how the people around me would feel knowing that I'm writing a short film and one of the characters is based off of Leslie. Um, and the funny part is it's not even supposed to be based off of her, but I just think it's better to write it and make it about her suddenly. Um, but yeah, I stayed at home for the rest of the day. Nothing else. Somebody's still using laundry. The Chinese guy from room one is using laundry, and then, um, Jesus is using laundry again. I don't know why. It just never stops. I have like a whole wall of dirty clothes here, L shaped, and I can't fucking wash it. I can't do anything with it. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Um, but yeah, wearing Death Grips merch to church is wild. Yeah, that's pretty much it for today. My voice is so raspy. Wow. I spent hours editing my recap video. And I still have a lot to do. Like, I still have to finish, like, 6 episodes of anime. That's 7 episodes. I don't think I can finish it, bruh. I want to go see Godzilla Minus One tomorrow. I've thought about watching on Tuesday, but nah, that's tough. I'm gonna watch tomorrow. I'm gonna try my best to wake up naturally, so I'm gonna go for the 5:10 p.m. Screening of Godzilla Minus One at Cinemark Crenshaw in Baldwin Hills, which is a place I've never been to. So hopefully it's not the ghettos. Um, but yeah, I've consumed a lot of calories today, and the noodles was like $21. 21 fucking dollars. I'm so done. Um, I cannot like go out and eat food for the rest of January. I'm done. I'm done with eating food outside. I'm actually positively done with eating food outside for January. Um, Aside from having lunch with Michelle, which I hope happens as soon as possible, because I do want to hang out with her, um, so that we could go to Barnes and Noble, look at Blu-rays, and then maybe I can spend some money there too as well. But I feel fine. Um, but yeah. Um, thank God for Martin Luther King Jr. Because tomorrow I don't need to go to school, but I do need to look at USC homework and assignments and stuff like that. I need to fucking spam email the USC library to ask them to hire me. I need to fucking spam them extremely hard. I did some research on Reddit. There's a lot of people on Reddit asking questions about finding scholarships as an international student and finding jobs. Both of them are actually impossible, near zero, because of course everything's difficult. In terms of scholarships, I'm screwed because transfer merit pretty much doesn't apply to me because I didn't apply to USC before December 1st. Hong Kong scholarship, not a thing anymore. I'm going to try for Fulbright Scholar, which is even harder to get into, but somehow a little bit likelier. Why are they turning on AC? It's fucking cold. Okay, anyways. But I'm still going to try. But I need to expect that I probably won't have any scholarships for 5 whole fucking semesters because I'm just that good. But I will try my very extreme best to find jobs. Extreme. To an extreme degree. Like I'll start writing a lot of emails and spamming emails constantly at multiple departments at USC. And if that doesn't work, which probably won't work, I will start showing up to those offices in person. That's what Glenn told me. That's his advice. Just show up in person. And fucking, if you want the, I don't know, photography department to hire you, keep going to the photography department. Wherever it is, Keep going there in person. Annoy them. Make yourself a strong impression. So yeah, that's that. Um, but yeah, not much else. I think for the most part, in terms of USC troubles, I'm pretty much good. I still need to think about whether I want to transfer to film production or not. It's a legit dilemma. Um, but yeah, that highly depends on whether I can waiver some classes because I don't want to take 20 fucking classes. Um, More on top of the four I'm taking now. 24 classes at USC is basically financial suicide. Um, so I need to waiver a couple classes or at least one class. If I can do that, that would be great. Um, Holy balls. Okay. Well, yeah, that's it. I don't regret taking art history. Part of me thinks art history is pointless and I could have just taken a religious class, but nah. It's for the global perspective thing, and also it's the professor's a Hong Konger, so gotta do it. Um, yeah, that's it. All right, time now is 1:27 p.m. on January 15th. I slept from 4 to 1. I woke up naturally, felt fucking amazing. I did set my alarm to 2 p.m. in case I overslept, but that never happened. Um, yeah, wow. And I had a dream. I think I was back in Hong Kong. And it's one of those dreams where I wake up and realize I'm in LA. It's like, oh my god, I'm back. Um, or maybe I was expecting myself to wake up in Sawtell. There are so many ceilings to wake up to. But anyways, yeah. There's a lot to be done today. I do realize that because tomorrow it's Tuesday and it's world building class, and I have to do a lot of world building research, you know. So there's USC homework. I need to email people. I need to ask Glenn about going to gym at USC. I need to write notes down. Um, so that's that. And also, I do have to realize that we're 8 days away from the short film, which is kind of insane to think about. So I need to check up on Elin and Ken to see how's the art department doing. I need to call Benny to talk about the budget. I need to ask Cliff for the gear list, and I need to ask Glenn for a time for a Zoom meeting. Um, then we um yeah, fuck. And the locations. Holy shit. It's coming. It's actually coming. It's actually happening. Um okay. And actually not even a week because on Monday night we'll need to go there. And then we there's still a lot to be done in terms of I want to film an anime review. And I want to edit a college update video. But also I need to do the laundry. But also at around 4 p.m. ish, I need to leave the place because I'm going to Cinemark to watch Godzilla Minus One. So that is that. So there's actually a lot to be done, and hopefully I get to finish them all, be productive. Yep, it is time again. Holiday's over. I need to go hard right now. And I just need to continue looking for jobs on the campus because that's like my only hope. There's also another thing that I realized I have to work on 2 nights ago, and that is the Fresh Wave Film Festival. That is a Hong Kong Film Festival. Yesterday morning, I did some research on the Fresh Wave Film Festival and how, you know, okay, and sort of how to join, what's going on. Turns out it's a film festival where you submit like a film script or a treatment, and if you get in, they let you shoot the film. They give you funding, and then you can finally shoot it. So it's a festival I can't join because I've already fucking made my Love and Death short film. But thankfully, hopefully, Love and Death gets some awards. I put Love and Death in 4 different competitions. Hopefully, it wins some awards. At least some, please. Or at least get some sort of attention. But yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I also need to figure out Ralph's card. And I've been living here for 2 years and I still don't have a Ralph's card. And I go to Ralph's constantly. I gave myself an excuse back when I was living in Sawtell, saying, oh, well, I don't need a Ralph's card now because, you know, I'm moving to USC and then I'll be going to some other grocery store. That's not true. Ralph's is still the most reliable grocery store. Even though Trader Joe's cheap and the food there is great, even though Target is close by, Ralph's still rocks. It's still a huge supermarket with lots of stuff in it, and I'm familiar with the food they offer now. So I do need a Ralph's card. What else? I realize I haven't done any exercises or workout since a long time ago in November. So I gotta do that. I have my yoga mat here. I just need a good night's sleep. Yeah, and then, I don't know, if I have a job, if I finally got a job, which is crazy impossible, maybe I'll consider buying more Blu-rays, because some Blu-rays I really want are actually out of print, like ReZero and some Attack on Titan is out of print, which is crazy. It's like the most popular show ever. Yeah. Lots to think about. I'm gonna eat some French toast for breakfast. I'm gonna have the soup noodles from yesterday lunch as lunch. I had some beef slices and perhaps some dumplings. And that's already a lot of food, so that's that. And tonight I'm thinking rice and fatty pork belly and gailang, and we'll call it a day. Yeah, there's ice cream in the fridge. Got some snacks. That's a day's worth of food. Yeah. Got the soup. Got the noodles. Boiling dumplings. Got the beef ready. We're good. Laundry doing its thing. How do I enter this thing? What the fuck is this place? is finished. I'm gonna just fucking terrible public transport. I'm gonna take a bus back home, but it's a different bus from before, so I'm going to some random streets to take the fucking bus. Wish me luck. Holy fuck. This place. What the fuck? Holy shit. We're really in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. The fuck? Fucking hell. This place sucks so much. Okie dokie, so time now is 11:03 p.m. Just came back home and had dinner, which I literally had the same exact dinner like a few days ago, like 3 days ago or last Saturday or something, but it's braised pork belly, rice, and boiled gailang. That's it, nothing else. I don't know why, but like it takes almost no effort for me to reach the 2200 calorie count as of now. Like this morning, I had a small French toast, but that in and of itself is already like 500 and something. I had leftover soup noodles from yesterday lunch, and it's already 700 something calories. And yeah, yesterday lunch is expensive. It's $21, but I did have 1.5 meals with that, so it is not a bad investment. But yeah, I not a lot happened today, which is good in a sense. I was productive for the most part. I don't really know why, but I was pretty productive today. I managed to film and edit an anime review right before leaving. I was scared of being late. I was gonna take two buses. I was gonna take a bus, but that bus never showed up, and the transit app rerouted me to a different bus. So instead of going this and then south, I went south and then west. Instead of going west and then south, I went south and then west. Two different kinds of buses. I mean, all metro buses, but two different buses. And holy shit! So today's the first time I went to Crenshaw, which is an area in LA I've never really been to, and goddamn, is it a scary place, because this is a predominantly African American place, and I don't. It's not scary because it's African American. It's scary because the place is literally so empty and so lifeless that you think a lot of crimes would happen there. Um, and it's also interesting because, I've lived in Santa Monica where it's a predominantly high Latino place. And, Sawtell is a predominantly Asian area. And USC is also very Asian as of now. Um, and of course, I've been to Monterey Park and Alhambra where it's all Hong Kongers slash Chinese. This is new. I've never been to an area where it's all African Americans, all black. Um, but I had my jacket. I put both my hands in my pockets. It's chill. I wasn't late to the screening and I was able to get a semi good seat. But yeah, it took me a while to find how to enter the fucking Cinemark. When I entered, there were a couple guards and they're like, "Oh, can you show me your ID?" And I'm like, "Okay." And at first I thought they're asking for my ticket and I was like, "Oh, I haven't bought my ticket yet." And they're like, "Oh no, I need your ID." And I'm like, "Okay." And I showed them my passport. Thank God I brought my passport with me. I bring my passport to wherever I go at this point. Um, and I asked them, "Oh, why is there a curfew?" I was thinking maybe something really bad happened, like there's a shooting in this area. And they're like, "Oh no, it's just every single day from like 5 p.m. onwards, there's a curfew. And I'm like, oh, okay. Which is kind of crazy. Only in that area. Also, today's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and there's a street called Martin Luther King Avenue, and there's a station called Martin Luther King. So, what a coincidence. But yeah, I went into Cinemark, watched the movie, and it's a small theater, but I'm glad I was able to watch it. There are a couple people behind me sitting to my right, and they kept fucking talking. It's so annoying. And there's a guy in the front who kept snoring halfway through the movie. And it's so annoying. And then there were a couple moments where the movie is completely quiet, and it would be nothing but the guy snoring, and a bunch of people in the theater laughed. It's so bad, but that didn't keep me from enjoying the film. I still enjoyed it a lot. I took a bus back home, walked for 14 minutes. It's okay. Again, very doom and gloom, this area. Very terrible, but I survived. And yeah, that's about it. I really did a lot of stuff today. Like, I'm doing laundry right now. I texted a bunch of people. I went to Discord and texted, like, hey, how's the art department going? Um, and Ken was like, oh, it's doing well. We're going to finalize some stuff, but it's. And I'm like, that's great. I texted Benny and asked him to call either tonight or tomorrow. I think I'm going to call him tomorrow. I just want to rest. It's already 11 p.m. for fuck's sakes. Um, I texted Cliff to ask him to update the gear list and the crew list for his department. So we're 1 week away from the shoot. We need to be vigilant from now on. It's great that because it is such a larger production than before, it's a lot more steps. It's kind of like Ends and Means in a way where in Ends and Means, when we were a month away from the shoot, it's like, oh my god, we're only a month away. But then it's like, what are we exactly doing though? Like, for my own shorts, when it was, small in terms of scale, when I was 1 week away, it's like, oh my god, find the locations, call, make phone calls, get the characters. Who has a camera? You got a camera. Where do I find the mics? Oh my god. But now it's like, yeah, we got the locations. Yeah, I mean, except for the other location, but the main location, the restaurant, yeah, we got it. The cast and crew, yeah, we mostly got it. We got the department heads. Cliff just got his Blackmagic camera. He's got the lenses, the Rokinons. The props, Ken and Elin are on it. You know what? It honestly, in terms of pre-production, I think we're in a very good pace. So it's kind of crazy that I've surpassed Jordan's Keys, and I was able to finish this short film. Like, I think I don't know. I think the day the production of this short film, the pre-production actually started, I'd argue is late December when me, Cliff, Ken, and Elin went to watch Poor Things together. I think that really kick-started it. And then, of course, there's a location scout with me, Elin, Cliff, and Benny. I think that kind of kick-started it. But, yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think it's doable. Yeah. And then I also emailed my academic advisor on the whole internal transfer thing and you know the petition thing. Um, yeah, I'm still thinking about staying in film studies. There are so many perks to that. I mean, I will waste more money, but on the other side is I can minor in religion, which is still so cool. I don't think I'm gonna regret doing that. Yeah, I'm spending about okay, so it's 5 classes, 5 times 420. That's 20 units. Each unit is 2,300, so that's about 40,000 US dollars. Um, 40,000 and fuck, 50,000. I don't know. Yeah, it is a lot. But to have a minor degree in religion is just so fucking cool. And I can have that minor degree and go to high schools and teach stuff that's related, like history or I don't know, something like that, like literature. I don't know. I can just go around high schools and start teaching if I can, or be a TA or something like that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's going well, going strong. Ready for tomorrow. One more thing. I spoke to North, the Chinese American girl, and there's this thing called the PA program by the APCA, the Asian Pacific Islander Cinema Association. And there are multiple things. They have it's one club, but it runs multiple programs. There's a PA program, there's the close up program, there's a bunch. And they're all sort of separate, which is crazy how one club can be this professional. So today's the deadline to sign up for the PA program, and I actually went and checked out. I had to fill in a Google form, so I filled it in, and it's like a film school application in and of itself. Like I need to write a paragraph describing why do I like this club and why do I like what do I have to contribute and blah blah blah. And it's crazy, and that sort of deterred me. That sort of made me think, okay, is this worth it? So I texted North. It's good that I have someone to text to ask this, and she was like, "Oh, I mean, it's a good program, but essentially, it accepts 12 students, which is again not a lot. If I apply, they'll interview me, and then only after that, maybe they'll accept me. But even so, I don't know if it's a good idea because it's more work on top of my school stuff, on top of my own short film, and then on top of other short films that I'll be crewing on, hopefully. Yeah, it's a good opportunity to meet people, but I feel like as of now, me being a 21-year-old in the year 2024, I have the capability to do better than that. This is usually for a bunch of Asian Pacific Islanders who is new to film, who is really new to film, and sort of wants to just, do a short film together. Um, and I'm more than that. I think I'm more than that. So, yeah, so instead of making a short film for USC internally, just for a club, I can do better. I can work on thesis films. I can work on feature films if I want to. I don't know. It seems kind of tough, but Cliff's worked on 2 already. He has shoots nonstop shoots. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention that I spoke to Jonathan quite a bit. I mentioned to Jonathan that I have Blu-rays, and he's like, "Oh, hey, I got a PS4. Maybe I can bring the PS4 and we can host a movie night." And I'm like, "Yeah, that could be fun." Which is kind of weird because even though I and Jonathan we went through a lot, I feel like we're not super duper close. I would do that with Tova, and definitely Michelle. I think Michelle's still probably the closest person I am with so far. Also Potter, but it's been a while since I've spoken to Potter. Yeah, and possibly I don't talk to Cliff too much about drama and personal shit because I feel like he's not capable of, but I do talk to him quite a bit. But that would be fun. We followed each other on Letterboxd finally, and he has seen 40 something movies. I feel so powerful. I feel like I'm one of the few people in my college, in my community college, who have seen this many films. I feel like. So, yeah. Uh, Yeah. Give me a job so that I can buy more Blu-rays, please. Oh yeah, I need to email them. Fuck, I'll email them tomorrow. I don't know. Oh my god. Okay. Time now is 7:46. 7:48. Hold on. 7:48 a.m. on January 16th. Really? Yes. Okay. So slept from 4:35 to 7:45. Fuck. That's 3 hours. So yeah, last night I was like, "Oh, it's going so well. It's been productive." Ah, wow. Um, Time management went down the drain last night. I I watched one episode of anime, that's it. I don't know why. I spent a whole hour from 3:30 to 4:30. I spent a whole hour folding clothes and getting the laundry out of the drying machine. And then the hoodie string fell out of the hoodie again, for fuck's sakes. I try my best to not let that from happening. The Death Grips hoodie. So I tried to string it back, and then I gave up. I'm like, fuck you. And then I remembered, oh right, I have a purple shirt that is thick and has a hoodie too. I wonder where that shirt went. Is it missing? So I started going through all my clothes just to find it, and that took a while. Turns out it's the one where the hoodie string fell off. So I'm like, fine. So I spent 20 minutes or so just re-stringing the hoodie again. And I also spent a little time rereading Justin's script and then texting him my thoughts. But yeah. Fuck, 3 hours is bad. 4 hours is usually my limit. I broke the limit. I probably will go back to sleep again after school. Yeah, I probably will do that. I don't know. Fuck. Um. Alright, time now is 12:07 after midnight. Yeah, wow, my voice is suddenly crisp again. Um, yeah, so quite a bit to talk about, but only a bit. This morning was terrible in terms of sleep and hair as well. No matter how much I fixed my hair, it looked god awful. And I felt terrible throughout the entire day, especially during the world building class, which is again kind of sad because world building class is easily the most interesting class out of the four. But I almost fell asleep like constantly, there was a point where the professor played a video, it's more like a short film. It's 20 minutes long, and it's black and white, and it's in French, and there are people in front of me, so I couldn't see the subtitles, and I kept fucking falling asleep, and I tried my very best not to. Unlike in church, where I just allow myself to fall asleep because I don't care anymore. Um, yeah, so that kind of sucked. Hopefully nobody noticed. But yeah, so at least I was early today. Um, I had to wake up this early only because I need to catch the bus. And then I waited like 10 minutes on the couch in the SCA lounge lobby. And then I went to SCB 104. That is the room. It's a different classroom from before. And it's a little nicer because we got rolly chairs. I think we do have rolly chairs before. I forgot. But this time we're sitting beside people, side by side. So I sat at the more back side of the classroom, and beside me was Soren, and then to my left is Wei Ting. Even though he's a Chinese guy and he gives off like, ooh, China is the best vibes, I feel a better connection with him. But yeah, it's kind of awkward because the TA is a Chinese girl, and he and the TA speaks a little bit of Mandarin from time to time. And then in the middle of the class, they would chat with each other on WeChat. And then we have so some other girls didn't show up. The only girl who showed up was the Chinese girl, and then another Asian girl randomly showed up. I think she's Asian American, but she wasn't here on the first week. But the Chinese girl and the Chinese girl TA also spoke in Mandarin, but I could sort of tell what they're saying, and it's going to be extra awkward when I had to present the world design idea and it's Chinese history, and I suddenly start using, like, saying words in Cantonese and Mandarin. But, yeah, anyways, the girl did a presentation on the world building design idea she and her group mates who didn't show up have created, which is kind of boring. It's the world building is the world they built is a grandma's house, like a house of a grandmother, and it's very neat and it's very clean and tidy. But there's a couch in the house that is very comfortable and cozy, but if you sit on it, it relaxes you, and the grandma poisons you, and then after you faint, the couch opens up and you drop down below and into the basement, and you get ground up and turned into meat, and then you turn into a pie, like a meat pie, which is kind of cartoony. But and then the boys, me, Wei Ting, Nathan, and Soren, we presented our idea, all four of us, and it's such a boys' idea. Oh, look at these, we're gonna do subterranean underground tunnel train and all these food and biofuel. And then I presented my slides. I literally made these slides within 10 minutes or 15 minutes last night, but it looks like I did a lot of research. I did do a bit of research though, so I talked about atmospheric pressure and the temperature and the speed and the biofuel, like the science stuff, and Wei Ting was like, wow, okay. But honestly, it was kind of a miscommunication because turns out what I had in mind is a little bit different from what Soren and Nathan had in mind. So it was like, oh, so okay, I thought it's gonna be like a railway, but for them it's like excavator, like it's digging a tunnel in real time, so it can't go super fast. I don't know. Anyways, and then I almost fell asleep. Yada yada. Class ended. I left. I spoke up a couple times, but yeah, it's whatever. It's nice that I speak up much more comfortably. Throw back to 2 years ago, in Psychology 14 when I could barely speak up. This is a great change, but yeah, I realized that I forgot to tell the professor that I can't go next Tuesday because it's a short film shoot, which I will talk about a little bit later. And then I waited a while. I walked to DMC without a map. I don't need a map's help anymore. It's like the third time I've done this, walking from SCA to DMC. or just like walking this path. But this is a totally new path, but I was still able to navigate myself around. Which is funny because today in world building class we learn about navigation. But anyways, went to DMC. I was gonna buy myself some snacks because I'm dying of hunger. But screw it, I don't want to waste money. Fuck it. So I went to class. This time I was like early by 10 minutes just to make sure they don't randomly start earlier. And they did not. But yeah, every single day the class shrinks. This time there's only like 13 or 14 students. Last time it was 15. But yeah, the class continues. I spoke up once. That's it. But this time it's a lot more interesting because this time it's about like prehistoric Chinese, like Neolithic Chinese cultures, which is a bit more interesting to me because it's a bit more relatable, just a tiny bit more. But yeah, there's a girl who's also Chinese. There's another girl who's Malaysian. The girl in front of me is Indian. It's pretty diverse class, you know. There's a Korean TA girl. But yeah, class finishes. I can talk to the professor on Thursday about the fact that I can't come this Tuesday. Also, I'm gonna take that opportunity to ask her if she's a Hong Konger, which is probably a yes. But anyways, I immediately took a bus back home, and immediately ate some trail mix, some wasabi beans that the church teacher gave me, and I took a shower and I went back to sleep. So I slept, and damn, is this a comfortable sleep? I slept for 2 hours, but I woke up by the alarm. But I'm so glad I did sleep. I woke up and immediately made myself lunch. It was like 6 p.m. already, but who cares? My sleep schedule's fucked. And then, did a review, yada 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 yada. So, the thing is, we're about 7 days away from the short film, and I need to call Benny to sort of do things, to, sum up things. In my head, because I've never done a short film this size before, so in my head I'm like, oh, we got the location, we got the actors, we got people doing the props, we got the gear from Cliff, like, we're good, we're chill. But there's actually, like, come to think of it, there's actually a lot more complication this time around, because the crew this size, what about catering? Unlike how in the past I can just go to a restaurant and pay for lunch and yay, But now we need to think about the catering and the parking issues. Who's gonna drive? The schedule. We don't have the schedule yet. Fuck, we don't even have a complete cast and crew list. We don't really have a second location yet. So I had a 40-something minute long call with Benny. But before that, I and Elin was talking throughout the whole day, from morning till night. Elin basically dedicated the entire today to work for my short film, which is crazy. I can't thank her enough. But she and Ken are gathering props and art stuff, and they're officially 3D printing another Buddha, the small Buddha, and they're also using paper mache and chicken wire and a bunch of stuff. I don't even know what is chicken wire to create a larger Buddha. And also, just props in general, I guess. In the morning, she asked me about which curtain to buy. She posted a pic of Ken, like, sitting beside the Tonka. It's crazy. It's happening. Like, back in November or October, I DM'd Ken, like, hey, do you want to work on my short film? And he's like, I'll think about it, blah, blah. Now he's posting beside a fucking Tonka. I'm probably the only one of the few film directors in the world who uses Tonka as a plot device. This is fucking insane. It's actually happening. But I asked Elin, so who are you gonna bring onto the set? And I low key thought, oh god, she's gonna say Citlali, and she said Citlali. Fuck. And also Takumi. I trust Takumi, and it's cool because now, there are. It's funny because this short film is so it's sort of like about Chinese culture, but the writer director is a Hong Konger. The DP and one of the PDs are Malaysian, and the other PD is Taiwanese. And I thought add insult to injury, the fact that there are no Chinese crew members here is to have other kinds of East Asians in the crew. And I've always thought about, what if like I invite Aoba to join just to be a set photographer so that I can credit her, and you see a Japanese name and you're like, oh my god, all the Asians are assembled, aside from Koreans. They don't exist in Santa Monica. But they do exist in USC though, very much. Um but yeah, Takumi's joining, which is great, and I trust him. I've hung out with him twice, so okay. Citlali though, she's probably the most problematic person in the entire film set of Ends and Means. You may argue Liam and Jaden are also the most problematic. You may argue Leia is the most problematic, but she wasn't even on set. But Citlali really is like one of the biggest problem causers on the set of Ends and Means. So I thought about maybe telling Elin to not bring her on, but I gave it some thought, and I don't want any friction between me and Elin. While I and Elin has talked and hung out enough for me to trust her, and she's nice to me and stuff, but it's still like, it's unlike between me and Cliff, I feel like I and Cliff will never be able to offend each other because we're both really nice softies, and we've also worked with each other for, since 2022 October. So, yeah, we went through Aoba short film and the HKFF and Ends and Means. We went through WoW together. We've been through some stuff. So, he helped color grade Love and Death as well. But yeah, anyways, I digress. So if Elin works well with Citlali, then so be it. So I called Benny, and apparently Benny was with Elin as well. They're doing the 3D printing together. Benny stepped outside, and I talked with Benny for like 40-something minutes. And we went over a lot of these things. But one of the things is Citlali, and Benny was like, yeah, I know. So Benny warned Elin. Benny told Elin, like, yeah, like, Citlali's a wonderful person, but she's not the best to work with. And Benny's trying his best to be as inoffensive as possible. And Elin took that a little strangely. Elin's like, no, that's not. Like, Elin really insisted on bringing Citlali on board. So, okay. But the good thing is, Zach is not here. If Zach is involved in this project, we're fucked. Me, as the writer-director, will also be fucked. B, Citlali's not like art director or PD or anything. And it's kind of funny because I was originally planning to bring Red on, but that never happened, and now it's good because Red will never fucking work with Citlali ever again. And Jonathan's cool with Citlali. But again, it's like a little bit politically sensitive. My only concern is Shane, because I know Shane is on Red's side, so I don't know how will Shane work with Citlali, but hopefully they don't work together. Hopefully they're constantly separated. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So Benny suggested. So Benny was like very. He's like, okay, Enoch, Noxter, I love you, you're great, but 70 shots? No way. And I'm like, no. First of all, the flashback shots, they're done. Second of all, it's 2 days. So day one is like 24 shots. And he's like, man, 24 is too much. And honestly, I'm a very fast director. So I'm confident that I can get 24 shots. But Benny isn't. But maybe Benny's right. I've never worked with such a large crew before, so I don't know if it's even possible. But, in Love and Death, 5 people. Me, cameraman, sound, 2 actors. We probably filmed over 50 fucking shots in one day. I actually don't know how many shots we shot in one day. Probably not that much, but still, So yeah, I don't know. But anyways, Benny told me to prioritize shots. So, you know, tell me what are the most important shots and tell me what are the least important ones. So if push comes to shove, we will have to skip some of the shots. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to. And Benny's like, yeah, but you will run out of time. So, um, to fix that, on Monday, we need to go to the film set to start setting up stuff for art. Number two, um, I and the actors need to practice as much as possible, as much as we possibly can, so that on the day of, we just shoot. Boom, 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 boom. Shoot, 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 shoot. There's no room for error. Um, so Benny suggested that on Sunday afternoon that we will all meet up in person. All the actors, me, Benny, so 5 people will meet up in person and we'll go over the script. Which is kind of late notice. It's already Tuesday. To be fair, it's only Tuesday. So I immediately texted Glenn. I immediately texted Leland, actor and actress. Both of them said yes to Sunday. Holy shit, it worked. But only after 3 p.m. and before 5 p.m. Fine. Benny's available after 3 p.m. either. I'm fine either way. I'm fucking free all the time. And still waiting on Miles. Benny's also writing up a contract for the restaurant owner, restaurant boss. And I texted the restaurant boss, no response yet. Hopefully he responds tomorrow. But yeah, it doesn't seem that bad. We're 1 week away, but I feel like we're so close to completing pre-production. I feel like we're 80% done. Cliff's got the camera and lenses. Elin and Ken have most of the props already. We're so close to finishing. We just need the complete cast and crew. Know who's driving. Figure out the catering. Benny's got the contract. I need to practice the lines with the actors, and then boom, we're good to go. I think I got a to-do list, so it's good. I feel like I'm doing everything quite well and steadily. It's not like I'm going into a short film completely blind because it's my 7th fucking short film. Like, I do know how pre-production works. I've been on sets before. I know how production works. I edit my own short films in high speed as well. So yeah, another thing is Elin has to work. Elin agreed to join another film set from January 26th to 28th, which is insane because I planned for day 2 of the shoot to be on one of those days. So Elin said she's gonna talk, but if she's gonna ask, but if that's doesn't work out, then we'll have to push day 2 to February 3rd, which is not cool because I have 1 week less time to edit. But yeah, I guess I could still work it out. I texted Retablo earlier this morning. Retablo said he's already working on it, so thank God, because scoring takes the most time. Scoring is the most time consuming part in the entire filmmaking process. After writing, of course. So thank God. What else? But yeah, for a second location, Benny's either gonna ask his boss for a room in his workplace in Westwood, or we can use Cliff's room. Cliff's room would be great, but I just don't want to ruin his room, you know? So, yeah, but it's kind of crazy that this plan is pretty much set in motion, and I have come farther than so many other people, like Jordan's Keys or Justin's Korean short film, the Hansu script. It's called A Bird, but we call it the Hansu script because Hansu is acting in it. Earlier I said Koreans don't exist in Santa Monica. Well, there's an exception. Um, um, I guess the other thing is I emailed the academic, my advisor. He responded saying that I can make the decision after I got admitted to film production. So that's fucking great news. That means I don't have to make the decision that early, so I can still apply. If they still say no, well, the choice is made for me. I'm staying in film studies and I'm, you know, minoring religion. If it's a yes, then I'll still have to make the tough decision. But hopefully by then, it'll be revealed around April or May. Hopefully by then, I will have the answer figured out, whether I want to work for film production or whether I want to stay in film studies. It doesn't really matter because it's about the connections, but it sort of does, actually, because by staying in film studies plus minoring in religion, I am taking more units, actually, and it's more money wasted. And I looked up honors program, apparently you need to take another class called honors seminar, and that's even more units, so what the fuck? Um, and also, again, like, there's so many classes in film studies, like intro to film or intro to TV. I don't fucking need those classes, man. I don't need them. Whereas in film production, it's skin tight. We got the production assistant class, which actually isn't about being a PA, but it's about pitching, which is actually quite fucking helpful. There's a class called the Cinematic Arts Lab where we get to do lab for editing lab, cinematography lab. Sounds fun. Um, and I this morning, or I think last night, I remember how Film 33 felt for me. A group of people who doesn't know each other that well suddenly forced together to go through pain and troubles just to pump out a short film. I want to be a part of that. I know if I'm successfully able to infiltrate a 310 or a 480, I can sort of do that. But what's the rate of me successfully infiltrating those classes? And also, even if I infiltrate those classes as a production designer or art director, like, how much of sense of community will I really actually have? So I don't know. I'm also interested in writing or directing a thesis film. I think that's fun. It's good to have a thesis film under your name in USC. Um, but at the same time, I do kind of want to minor in religion. But then maybe it's just too much. Maybe I should just read some books and that's it. I don't know. 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 I need to think on this. I really do. Um, but yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna take some melatonin tonight. Hopefully, wake up early tomorrow. And you know, fuck, I don't have time to watch movies as well. But yeah, I cooked Brussels sprouts for the first time. I was scared because I've never done it before, and also people hate Brussels sprouts. But no, it's good. It's fucking delicious. The Brussels sprouts is way more delicious than the tilapia fillet or the ravioli. It's easily the most delicious part. I use butter and garlic and shitloads of salt and pepper, and it's awesome. It's fragrant. It's nice. Honestly, I love it. I'm loving the Brussels sprouts. New vegetable unlocked. Um, I haven't had eggplant in a while. I think I'm gonna go to Ralph's tomorrow. I've been looking into getting a Ralph's card. I'm kind of confused. I'll ask about it in the cashier tomorrow. So there's that. I do need a quick, easy breakfast. Waffles is not it. I had waffles this morning. I baked it for 3 minutes. It's still ice cold. So, all right. Time now is 11:44 a.m. on January 17th. Slept from 4 a.m. to 11:30. Once again, I slept super late. Fuck. But at least that's 7.5 hours of sleep, which is not bad. Um, also, yeah, at least the good thing is I'm not sleeping later and later and later. In Hong Kong, I did that. I slept later and later every single day, and it sort of like pushed all the way to 5 a.m. or 5:30. But yeah, I do need to go to bed earlier. I even had a melatonin pill last night. I think it helped. But yeah, I'm close. I'm getting close. 3:30 tonight is decided. Okay? 3:30, please, for the love of God. I didn't finish the movie. I thought I didn't need to. But yeah, I'm feeling okay. I had an insanely long dream where I was traveling around the world and I was at some place where there were a lot of Native Americans, but I didn't know where exactly it is. It feels like they're Native Americans, but they could be Europeans. Like we have no idea where we're at in the world. Um, and the people who were traveling with me got freaked out. But I like socialized with the local people and I learned their language, and I'm just like a better traveler than the other people who were with me. My hair is, I think it looks better than before, but it still has that, you know. I want it to look better. I want it to look edgier, and I don't know how. I really don't. With gel, perhaps? I don't know. Fuck. Um, but yeah. Uh, Pretty cool dream. So today it's a Wednesday, so I'm going to American film history class. And that's pretty much it. Afterwards, there are no discussions. There's no discussion session for intro to film studies, so I'm going to directly walk to Ralph's and buy more food. Again, I'm spending more money on food. Fuck. But this time around, I'm gonna ask the cashier if how it works. You know, how do I get a Ralph's card and everything, and hopefully I can sort this out. Maybe a Ralph's card is the smarter choice. So who knows? Oh, it's so cold. Um, but yeah, I am running out of food very fast. I'm eating food very fast, but I'm also running out of them very fast. Um, you know, I have a little shopping list already. What else? Um, Short film is going strong, I guess. I'm waiting for Miles and the boss to respond, but yeah, I think it'll happen. And Benny's confident that he can make it happen, so yeah, it is happening. It'll be expensive. Benny said the art budget may exceed by $100, which I hope doesn't happen. But regardless, it'll be under 1,500, which is what I expected anyways. Um, Love and Death was like $900, but most of the cost went to the fact that I have to give everyone money. This one is more costly because of location fees, and the catering is of course more, and the art department stuff, so I expected this one to be like way more expensive, and by way more I mean twice more. I think it's gonna be lower than that, so yeah. And the fact that Jordan's Keys has to fundraise 10K, and same for Justin's short, but then me, I just need $1,200, is already kind of insane. So yeah, no problemo. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I just after this short film, I guess I'm just gonna go full speed ahead, immerse myself at USC. You know, I still need to find a job, join clubs, and just meet people in general. I know Glenn's few Hong Konger friends are a thing that may happen. The new, Potter, Pepper, JT quartet, you know, perhaps. I don't know. It's funny. After the four Hong Konger incident, I told Potter we may never come together in a room again, and Potter's like, nah, I think we will. Turns out we don't. It's been a year and a couple months. I don't talk to Pepper or JT anymore. Um, but Potter I still trust. Um, but yeah. It's cool though. Like, in my first round, in round one, it took me a while to, in the beginning, I'm still getting the hang of food and finding a place to live at and everything. And right now, it's been about 2 weeks since my life at USC started. And I'm already expanding to campus jobs and clubs and everything. I'm speed running this so that I can get to wherever I got to at my previous college as fast as possible. I want to walk onto the campus and then run into friends constantly. That's like my goal. And I want to experience shit. I want to experience film productions and be part of a film family, you know. I just want to experience shit. Um, yeah. All right, time now is 10:39 p.m. Just finished dinner. It's a bit of pasta, pork chops, and chopped cucumber. Um, Honestly, that's a really small dinner. I don't even need to pull out my calculator or anything or look it up or anything. I can already tell that's like a 700 calorie meal. Um, and breakfast I had today is steamed changfeng, steamed rolls, which is 240 calories. So honestly, I'm lacking right now. I'm heavily lacking. But it's good once in a while to eat a little less. Yeah, because I've been eating so much in the last few days. Um, um, I should do something about my face. I think a new acne is emerging, which is bad. So got to do something about that. But in the meantime, yeah, not a lot happened today. I don't know why. Even though I slept for 7.5 hours, I still feel sleepy as fuck. There's a bit of migraine to the back of my head. Um, and I'm just really tired. But yeah, bringing my laptop to school today was definitely a wise choice. And we watched The Graduate, which is a really good film. Interesting thing, I ran into Equal, the half Japanese, half Chinese dude, um, who I met because he's a second AD on John L. Short, and he sat on the same row as I was in, but we're like completely apart. Like I was on the left side of the cinema, I was on the right side of the theater, and he was at the very left. And during break, I wanted to go up to him and say hi, but he basically immediately left. So instead, I stuck with Ryan. And we watched The Graduate together. And yeah, so next Wednesday, I definitely need to speak to Equal. Another person had appeared. Again, it's so fucking awesome how just because I went to John L. Short Film, um, and I met a bunch of random people that right now I can just take classes randomly at USC, and there's a slight chance that I may run into somebody I know. Um, and hopefully, as time passes and as I, make more friends at the SCA, I just keep running into friends I know. You know, if I take some classes randomly at my last community college right now, I'm sure I'll run into somebody I know, which is crazy. Like back in September when I took Film 5 for 2 weeks, I ran into Christian, and of course in Film 41, like I know half the fucking class. So yeah. But yeah, not much else. Miles finally responded. Still no response from the boss. I mean, I just need his full name, but I'm gonna call him up tomorrow. But yeah, I still really desperately need a job. I think I'm gonna do something about that later. Um, oh yeah, in the morning, when I was cooking myself a grilled cheese sandwich, I spoke with the Chinese guy from room number one. Spoke with him a little bit because it was just awkward. He's sitting on my seat, the seat where I always sit during dinner. So tonight I decided to change seats. And yeah. And he also, like, when I came back home, I went to Ralph's, and after that, I came back home, and he's also cooking. He's cooking salmon, and he turned on the air vent, but he didn't open the windows, and I opened the windows and then just left, and I realized that was kind of rude, or not rude, but like, ooh, this guy's mad at me. Like, he probably thinks I'm mad at him. So I went out and explained it to him, like, the air vent, it sucks up the salmon smell, and it disperses the salmon smell through that vent. So, but yeah, yeah, went to Ralph's, yada yada, simple as that, nothing else. Um, yeah, yeah, I don't have a lot to talk about. I think I'm gonna hang out with Michelle this Saturday, which is gonna be fun. But yeah, it's crazy to think that my short film is happening this fast, all of a sudden. Um, Again, it's really good that this is like my seventh short film, so I sort of know what I'm talking about. I sort of know what I'm doing. I have a bearing on what I'm doing. But yeah, Justin's short film made an official Instagram account and followed me, and I realized, holy shit, maybe I should start an Instagram account as well. But they're receiving funding from this organization called Seed and Spark, and that made me thought, goddamn, I hope they funded my story too, because I'm paying this shit out of my pocket. So yeah, but even so, I think $1,200 for such a high quality short film, it's fucking worth it. It is a steal. So yeah, Mom Charles, and while paying at Ralph's, I asked the cashier how to get a Ralph's card, and she's like, "Oh, it's for free." So I got this form. Next time I go to Ralph's, I'm gonna hand them that, and I can get a Ralph's card for free. Um, yeah, which I think is a little sus. Maybe it's just my trust issues, but there's no way if I get a card, I can just buy everything with a discount. I feel like there's something I need to sacrifice. Maybe I need to pay for the card. I don't know, but I think I do. But if it's like one time pay thing, might as well. If it's monthly, I'll see if it's like, you know, profit, you know. What else? Yeah, free lift, it worked. It picked up two more guys, and it's a little awkward because I have a whole backpack in front of me with a laptop in it, plus two bags of Ralph's. Um, but yeah, not much else happened today. I gotta sleep earlier. Tomorrow is art history, and then I'll go back home and chill. Yeah. Frick. Okay. Time now is 10:47 a.m. on January 18th. Yeah, so it's been exactly 1 month since I have returned to LA for the beginning of round four. I have acne again, which is fantastic. Exactly what I needed right now. I slept from 4 a.m. to 10:15. And then I brushed my teeth and I'm like, fuck it. So I laid on my bed for a little longer. But yeah, 4 a.m. again. Fuck. It's cursed. I just this time, the reason why I slept so late was because of job applications. So I spent like a whole hour last night writing the cover letter um for applying to be a event photographer in USC. I don't even take photos that well, in my opinion. I don't even I'm not even like a photography person, honestly. But I'm making shit up. I was like, oh, I work for this organization. I collaborate really well. I tell stories, blah blah blah. And then I also emailed the USC library about, just to ask them to follow up, to do a follow up for my applications, because I applied to several positions in the library like 10 days ago. And then at 3 a.m., I received a response from the USC library, which is insane. It's 3 fucking a.m. What the fuck? Someone responded to me, oh, you need to apply for a job on this website with this link. And I clicked on it and I logged in and I'm like, wait a second. What? So, on the jobs I've applied tab, there's nothing. So even though 10 days ago I applied for a bunch of jobs for the library, I actually didn't apply for a bunch of jobs for the library for some fucking reason. For some fucking reason, um, it didn't go through or something. So last night, right before sleep, I was like, fuck it, I'll just apply to them now all over again. So I applied to them, the jobs. But it's a little different because some jobs are already taken. Um, so, there are fewer positions for me to apply for. But yeah, this is so fucking stupid. Um, I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know. But I really do desperately need a job. That is definitely in my top three priority. That's probably my number one. I mean, my number one priority is short film. Number two is the job. Three is the gym. Um, at least the gym is free, but let me get this job first. Please, 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 please. But yeah, I I didn't need to wake up this early actually, but I want to film a Hong Kong um Cantonese YouTube channel video, and then afterwards I will go to art history class, and then I'll immediately come back home and chill for the rest of the day. That's it. Um, yeah, I realized that if I hang out with Michelle on Saturday and then do the table read in person table read on Sunday and then so on and so forth, I won't be able to get a good night's sleep until I don't know, until a long time later. So yeah, I really need to change my sleep schedule. I really need to start sleeping earlier. And hopefully this is the only acne I'm gonna have. Um, back in round three, if I have an acne, it's like whatever. It's a one in a million. And here it's like, fuck, face ruined. Um, but yeah, that's it. My hair. Oh, what the fuck's happening? All right, time now is 12:26. Yeah, after midnight. So I actually, for the first time in years, almost forgot to film one of these because I really don't have a lot to say about today. Even though I actually sort of do have a little bit to say about today. But yeah, this morning, a little bit sleep deprived, went to college, was early, art history class, sat down, really interesting, um, yada yada. I spoke up a couple times. The class is really shrinking. I think it has 13 people now, and it's making me uncomfortable that it's getting smaller and smaller. But yeah, there's that. Right after class, I went up to the professor and I told her that I won't be here on Tuesday. She probably doesn't really care because it's a university and it's the kind of class where you could just leave. So that's that. Um, but I also asked, out of curiosity, are you from Hong Kong? And she's like, yeah, I'm from Hong Kong. Um, and I smiled and said, oh, me too. And I thought we are gonna like switch to Cantonese or anything like an Enoch Lai short film would, but that didn't happen. We kept speaking English for a couple more sentences. She's like, because right at the very end of the PowerPoint, she talked about the Hong Kong Palace Museum and how it's built like a bronze vessel. I didn't even notice that. So she asked me, "Oh, have you been to the Hong Kong Palace Museum?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've actually been there like a few months ago." And she's like, "Oh, did you notice that?" And I'm like, "No, but I know that room 3 was for ceramics." And she's like, "Oh yeah, there's a San Xingdui exhibition in there." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know there's room 7. It's on the top floor." And she's like, "Oh, well, I'm happy you're in my class." Happy to have you in my class. See you next week. And that's pretty much it. So I left, came home. That's it. I'm really happy that after last Sunday, I pretty much have not eaten outside at all, which is important because I don't want to waste any money. However, I did buy food in Ralph's and order food on Wii. Plus the short film, January will probably be one of the most expensive months of my stay in US history. Yeah, that's okay. God damn, this acne. I need to show up on screen. I need to cameo in my short film. I can't have this. Um, but yeah. So, anyways, there's the short film. And I called the restaurant owner, the restaurant boss. Nobody picked up. And then I called the restaurant. Also, nobody picked up because they're too busy. But at last, the restaurant boss called me back. And I was a little scared because he speaks in heavy Sichuan accent, but I was able to get my message across quite easily. I told him to just give me your full name and the restaurant name, and he's like, yeah, sure, I'll do that once I go back home. And he probably forgot. So I'm going to have to remind him tomorrow. But yeah. Another thing is, in the middle of watching an anime episode, at around 8:30 p.m. or actually 7 p.m., I called Retablo and we talked over the phone for about 40 something minutes about scoring my short film. Yeah, to think that I'm having a conversation with a composer who's going to compose my film is actually crazy because it's never done before. I mean, he sort of composed the end credits music for Love and Death, but it was like, I don't know, not really. It was more like a cover, but this time it's real. And I listened to his keyboards on the laptop and all that stuff, and not keyboards. What the fuck am I saying? I listened to him playing the keyboards over the phone, and I listened to the reverby keyboards, and even though the audio quality isn't great, it's shocking that that could be the film score of one of my short films, and I'm listening to it through the phone, fresh. It's just being made. And I just thought, holy shit, this is crazy. It's actually happening. And same with like Ken and Elin, who both texted me quite a bit today, asking me about Shane, asking me to get the phone numbers of our two main actors, to coordinate their wardrobe, and then later asked me about wardrobe a little bit. They went shopping for clothes. It's crazy how much work they're putting. They probably spent 3 or 4 days going outside of their apartment just to do work for me. So that's crazy. They're doing even more than I am doing for my own short film. What the fuck? Yeah. um, but yeah, I'm glad everyone said yes and everyone's fine and dandy. On also in terms of short film, Justin's short film A Bird is coming out with a crowdfunding project very soon. Crowdfunding launch. And they made an official Instagram official Instagram account, and people are reposting it, like Destin and Victor, and I think Lauren. And I'm like, damn, I wish people would do that to my shorts, just so that they could promote it, just so that a lot of people can see it. So I don't know, who knows? But I feel like I and Justin right now are locked in a healthy competition. I mean, we're friends, and after I read his script, I have gained a bit of respect for him. I mean, a lot of people can be great friends with me, but Justin is a good screenwriting friend, and I don't know. I think the other person who has a bit of my respect, and I'm not saying it as in, oh, I'm the best screenwriter ever and everyone's lower than me. I'm saying as in, most of the people I know from film school, 95 to 99, even 90, I don't know, 95% of the people I've met in film school keep writing the same goddamn scripts. and they keep having the same drab, bland idea again and again. Oh, talking to a girl in a cafe, romance, or just silly action shit with machine guns. It's always the same story, and it's boring and cliche, and nobody likes it. I think Michelle and Justin are probably the only two people who I'm like, okay, they're onto something, because of Michelle's regular scripts are like, nah, but her ancient Egypt idea and how much time and effort she poured into that is insane, and I'm impressed. Justin's script is really nice. It's like Love and Death. It's like my own short film, but in his kind of way, and I kind of respect that. Um, I don't think he copied from me. I think he is partially inspired by me though. But yeah, I've never really seen him like out of the entire college, community college. I don't see anyone as, oh wow, they're like me. They're going for the indie artsy, psychological drama. But now there's Justin. So I and Justin, we're in a bit of a healthy competition now. I feel like my short film's coming out, and then he's working on it. So wow, we'll see. We'll see what's up. But yeah, the short film's coming along. Um, Everything's going so well. I was thinking to myself, why am I not freaking out? Usually, when I make short films, I freak out and I don't know what to do and I panic. Like for Love and Death, that was so stressful. Love and Death might be one of the most. Making Love and Death is so fucking stressful. It might be one of the most stressful pre productions I've ever had because every single day in the second half of January 2023 was like, oh my god, will I actually make the short film or will I give up? Is anyone free to help me? Can I have a camera? Can I have this? Can I have that? And I have no idea until the very last second. It's insanely stressful, but I still managed to pull it off. Um, but this is the seventh time I've made a short film, and I'm not feeling that way now. I'm not that stressed out. Sure, it's not perfect. Right now, we still haven't figured out the schedule. The catering, we still don't know yet, but I don't know why, but I just get the feeling that we're slowly and steadily getting to it, you know? And I'm not having great imposter syndrome. Usually I would. Even the flashback shoot I did in Hong Kong just now, I had a little imposter syndrome, like, oh my god, they probably think I'm insane. But for some reason I don't. I think A, I'm more confident in LA. B, these people who are going to help me, like Ken Elin, Cliff, Benny, I've known them enough and they know me enough to like actually trust me. Of course, I don't know. Partially, sometimes I do think they think I'm crazy for making a short film this. But when they say they like the script, I genuinely think they genuinely do. Also, Cliff is bringing on three more people: Jake, Lauren, and Justin P. So that's not three. That's four people in the camera team. I thought he would bring more, honestly. So that's four people in the camera team, five in the art, one more for sound. That's 10 plus Benny plus me. That's 12. That's low as fuck. Um, but yeah, it's crazy. And again, Lauren, the DP, is helping me genuinely because it's crazy to think that Lauren helped Thomas and Lauren thinks Thomas short film is a shit and Lauren would never help Thomas anymore. But then in the Cliff's birthday dinner, Lauren was like, hey, Enoch, I want to help you. Lauren has a lot of experience, may I remind you. Justin P, he owns C stands, and Jake, he's one of the best the college had to offer. And Cliff is legit talented. Sitlali, it's good that Shane refused. So at the end, Shane was like, nah, I got assignments due that day. And then I told him, oh, by the way, Sitlali is coming to help. So there's that as a bit of warning, unspoken warning. And Shane was like, yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't make it. But yeah, I don't think Shane and Sitlali is going to get along. So it's good that Shane's not coming. Um, but yeah, Takumi, I'm friends with him. Like we're chill with each other. Um, this is like good film 33. This is like film 33, but good. Um, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. And then Michelle's. So I still want to hang out with Michelle because I want to hang out with her and go to Barnes and Noble and have an excuse to buy stuff, buy Blu-rays, or watch The Zone of Interest with her. And finally, after asking to hang out with her for like over a few weeks now, she's like, "Oh, so let's do it this weekend," and I'm like, "Sure." So Saturday, and then she's like, "Oh, never mind. On Saturday, I need to leave by 4 p.m." Um, so we decided to push it another week later. So hopefully that happens. But the good news to that is now I can sleep all day on Saturday. I can wake up naturally, which is very much needed. So yeah, that's that. Not much else. I had a nice dinner. Cabbage, garlic, fried beef slices, onions, soy sauce, cornstarch flurry. Smells amazing. Tastes not bad. Rice with an egg. It's not enough calories, but I'm gonna eat some. I'm gonna eat some. I don't know. I have snacks. I have so many snacks. I am, however, interested in going to Trader Joe's to buy some buttermilk or whatever. Whatever. I'm gonna wake up a little earlier tomorrow because I want to eat the apple pie. It's leaking water, which means it's wet. Which means if I let it out too long, it's gonna get moldy. So I'm gonna eat a slice tomorrow plus some hot chocolate, but that's gonna take a while because baking an apple pie takes a while. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, table read tomorrow. Table read again on Sunday. Yay, yada yada. We'll see.